He pulled her from the wreckage with his bare hands, wrapped her in his only coat, saved her life in a frozen cabin while the blizzard screamed outside. She never told him her name. He never asked for thanks. But when Liam Carter walked into work Monday morning, the woman he rescued was standing there in a designer suit, holding the termination list with his name on it. She was Audrey Sterling, his CEO, and he was about to lose everything he had left. Before we dive into this incredible story, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. And drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. Now, let's begin. The woman in the ditch was dying, and Liam Carter had about 4 minutes to decide what kind of man he was. 11:47 p.m. Highway 2, Montana. The blizzard was ripping the world to shreds, and Liam's truck was crawling 15 miles per hour because anything faster meant suicide. He was already 2 hours late for his shift at the Sterling plant. 2 hours late meant Hank Morrison would be waiting with that look. The one that said your file just got thicker. Then he saw the SUV. Black, expensive, nose down in a snowbank, brake lights bleeding red through the white chaos. Liam's foot hovered over the gas pedal. Bridget's face flashed in his mind. 7 years old, gap-toothed smile, insulin prescription due Friday. Rent 3 months behind. Morrison already had 2 write-ups on him. 3 was termination. The SUV's lights flickered. Died. Ah, hell. Liam stopped the truck. Wind tried to tear his door off when he opened it. Snow bit his face like teeth. He fought his way to the wreck, every step burning his lungs. Driver's side was crushed into a boulder. He moved to passenger side, locked. Through the window, a woman slumped over the wheel. Blood running down her face, lips going blue. No thought, just action. Tire iron. Smash. Glass exploding. Reach through. Unlock. Pull door open. Unbuckle her. Lift. She was light. Too light. Wearing a coat that cost more than 3 months of his salary. Not conscious. Breathing but barely. Stay with me. Come on. He carried her to his truck. Backseat. His red flannel work coat, the Goodwill one Bridget had picked out, wrapped around her like a shield. Hospital was 40 miles. Storm like this 40 miles might as well be 400. But Dad's old hunting cabin was 2 miles up the access road. Decision made in 3 seconds. He drove. The cabin door stuck. Liam kicked it. Once, twice, it gave. Inside smelled like 30 years of dust and mouse nests and memories of his father, teaching him to tie flies and gut trout. He laid the woman on the couch, found the kerosene lamp Dad always stocked, got it lit. Orange glow pushed back the dark. Fire next. Hands moving automatic, kindling. Cross the sticks. Bigger logs once it caught. Flames climbed. Heat spread. The woman's eyes opened. Blue, unfocused, confused. Where? You crashed, got you out. You're safe. She tried to sit up, gasped, fell back. Right wrist was swelling purple, blooming under the skin. Don't move, that wrist is broken. My phone, I need... Your car's totaled. Phone's in there somewhere. Cell service is dead anyway. We're stuck till the storm clears. One tear tracked down her temple, mixing with blood. She looked lost, terrified. Nothing like the put-together woman in the expensive coat. I can't be stuck. Tomorrow I have to. Hey, tomorrow you wake up breathing. That's what you have to do. She stared at him, really looked. Work boots, grease-stained jeans, hands that fixed things. What's your name? Something in his gut said, keep it simple. Liam, you... Pause, long one. He watched her decide something. Audrey. Okay, Audrey, let's fix that wrist. He found wooden slats in the corner, ripped a strip from an old blanket. His hands were gentle, steady, wrapping the splint. She bit her lip hard enough to draw blood, but didn't make a sound. Tough, he thought, or trained not to show it. You do this a lot, rescue people? First time, I'm a mechanic, mostly rescue engines. Lucky me. Yeah, lucky both of us. He checked her head wound with snow melted by the fire, cleaned the blood, concussion for sure, maybe worse. You married Liam the mechanic. Widowed, 3 years. I'm sorry. Don't be. She gave me my daughter before she left, that's enough. Something cracked in Audrey's face. How old? 7. Bridget. She's with my neighbor tonight while I work. He checked his watch. Was supposed to work. I'm gonna catch hell for this. You saved my life and you're worried about being late. You don't know my foreman? What do you do? Said equipment maintenance. Keep machines running. Not fancy. Pays most of the bills. Which company? Dodge. Big manufacturing place. You wouldn't know it. The lie tasted wrong but felt necessary. Wind screamed. Cabin creaked. Fire popped. Between them waited silence. Your daughter, Audrey said. Tell me about her. Liam's whole face changed. Lit up. She's everything. Wants to be an engineer. Builds stuff from garbage. Last week she made a pulley system from string and spools lifted her backpack to the ceiling. He smiled. She's got this saying. Warm always beats storm. Some movie thing. Whenever life gets bad, that's what she tells me. Like if you just stay kind, the bad can't win. Audrey looked away fast, jaw tight. When she spoke, her voice was different, smaller. My father said things like that before he built his empire and forgot. What's he do? He's dead. Empire's mine now. Weight in those words. Heavy, crushing. That why you were driving in a blizzard? Empire always needs feeding. She met his eyes. You ever feel like you're drowning and everyone just watches? Every single day. But I got Bridget, so I keep swimming. What if you didn't have her? Liam thought. Really thought. I'd find something else. That's what people do. We find reasons to keep going. Not everyone. No, not everyone. They talked. Hours, real talk. Audrey told him about boarding schools while Dad built satellites and forgot birthdays. Liam told her about teaching Bridget to read with comic books because regular books bored her. She told him about boardrooms full of men sharpening knives behind smiles. He told her about holding his wife's hand while cancer took her, Bridget sleeping in a hospital chair too young to understand forever. I haven't talked like this in years, Audrey said around 3 a.m. Real talking. Maybe you should more. With who everyone wants something. Not everyone. You don't. I want you alive, that's it. She laughed, bitter, surprised, real. You're a terrible liar. You want more. Okay. I want my daughter warm in winter. Food she likes? Maybe college without debt. He met her eyes. But I don't want it from you. Audrey stared. You really think wanting without taking works? Has to. Otherwise, what's the point? The point is surviving. That's just existing. There's a difference. No answer. Dawn came pale through broken windows, storm dying. Audrey had fallen asleep again, head on the armrest, his coat wrapped around her. Liam watched her breathe, thought about the write-up waiting for him, the consequences. But also Bridget's face when he'd tell her this story. How proud she'd be. Warm beats storm baby girl. 6:15 a.m. Engine sounds? Rescuers? Audrey woke, remembered, sat up wincing. They found us. She started removing his coat. He stopped her. Keep it. I can't take your coat. Bridget'll help me find another. Liam, it's just a coat. But they both knew it wasn't. EMTs came in. State trooper. Chaos. They took Audrey first. Stretcher. Vitals. Loading. She looked back once. Eyes met his. Thank you. Take care of that wrist. They carried her out. The trooper asked questions. Liam answered. Yes, no, yes, no. Yes probably saved her life. You did real good, son. Liam nodded. Watched the ambulance disappear. Then checked his watch. 7:30 a.m. He was supposed to be at work 9 hours ago. Morrison was going to bury him. Liam pulled into his trailer park at 8:15. Engine off. Sat there. Mrs. Chen's place was 3 trailers down. He could see Bridget's pink backpack on the porch. He needed to see her before facing Morrison. Needed to remember why he kept swimming. He knocked. Mrs. Chen opened gray hair and curlers holding a spatula. Liam heard about the storm. You okay? Yeah. Long night. Bridget up. Kitchen, making a mess. He walked in. Smell of pancakes and syrup. And there she was. Bridget, gap-toothed wild brown hair wearing her engineer's rule t-shirt that was 2 sizes too big. She was building something with toothpicks and marshmallows on the table. Daddy? She launched at him. He caught her, lifted her, held tight. Hey, baby girl, what are you building? A bridge. See, Mrs. Chen said bridges gotta be strong, so I'm testing which shape works best. Triangle or square? She pulled back, looked at his face. You smell like smoke. Had to help someone last night. Lit a fire to keep warm. Her eyes went wide. Did you save somebody? Yeah, a lady crashed in the storm. Is she okay? She will be, Bridget grinned. Warm beats storm, Dad. His chest went tight. Yeah, baby, it does. You going to work now? Yeah, gotta go talk to Mr. Morrison. Her face fell. She knew that name, knew what it meant when Dad talked about Mr. Morrison in that voice. He's gonna be mad you were late. Probably. But you saved someone. That's more important than being on time. God, she was 7 and already smarter than him. You're right, it is. He kissed her forehead. I'll pick you up after school, okay? We'll get pizza. The good kind with the stuffed crust. The good kind. She hugged him again. Love you, Daddy? Love you too, Bridge, more than anything. He put her down, watched her go back to her marshmallow bridge. Testing, building, engineering. That's what he was swimming for. Ted. Sterling Dynamics plant. 8:45 a.m. 50 acres of steel and glass. 6 years Liam had worked here, lowest position to equipment maintenance specialist through pure stubborn skill. He parked, got out. Other workers arriving, lunch boxes, storm talk, employee entrance. Badge scan, maintenance floor. Morrison was waiting, thick neck, permanent scowl. Arms crossed. Carter, office, now. The other guys looked away. They'd seen this before. Morrison's office was glass overlooking the production floor. Door shut. No seat offered. 9 hours late. No call, no message. Accident on Highway 2. Woman crashed. I stopped to help. Storm killed cell service. Don't care if Jesus himself crashed. You don't have 9 hours in your file, Carter. You've got marks. For doing my job right. Morrison's jaw tightened. They both knew what this was about. 2 months ago, Liam had written a safety report on pressure valve irregularities in Section D. Morrison buried it. Liam sent it to Regional anyway. Morrison was forced to respond. He'd been hunting revenge since. Your job is what I say it is. Morrison leaned forward. 3 days suspension. No pay. Final notice when you return. One more mistake and you're done. 3 days without pay. Bridget's insulin? Rent? Electric? Choose which one didn't get paid. Clear, Liam said quietly. Get out. Liam turned. Through the glass, 300 people worked. Machines hummed. Empire in motion. He wondered how many safety reports got buried, how many corners cut, if anyone cared. Halfway to the door, the PA crackled. Attention all personnel, CEO inspection at 10 a.m. All managers and department heads to main production floor. Repeat CEO inspection at 10 a.m. Morrison swore. Sterling's coming. Perfect. Liam froze. Sterling. Audrey Sterling, CEO of Sterling Dynamics. The woman from the cabin. The woman he'd saved. His CEO. She was the one who signed his checks, who decided his future. And she was about to walk in while he stood here suspended, marked for termination, holding on by a thread already snapping. You still here, Morrison snapped. Out! Liam left, headed to the locker room. Mind spinning. Did she know who he was? No. Couldn't have. Last night was too real. But she knew now. Someone would have told her, or maybe to people like her, people like him were invisible. Names on lists, numbers and budgets. Door opened. Otis Palmer walked in, 60. Gray beard, kind eyes, only supervisor who treated Liam human. Heard about your suspension. I was late. You saved a life. Morrison would have driven past. Otis leaned on the lockers. You know why Sterling's here, cuts. Budget restructuring. They're clearing house. Ice in Liam's veins. How many? 50 positions, maybe more. Maintenance hit hardest. Otis met his eyes. You're on the list. I saw it. Your name's there. World tilted. When? Today. Announcements today. Terminations immediate. Some get severance, some don't. 50 families. Gone because spreadsheet numbers said they cost too much. I gotta go. Gotta tell Bridget. Tell her what Daddy lost his job, Worm didn't beat Storm. Wait for the announcement, Otis said gently. Maybe there's still a chance. No chance. Morrison had made sure. The safety report, the questions, the refusal to shut up. It marked him. And now the CEO was coming to finish it. The CEO whose life he'd saved 12 hours ago. I'm gonna watch, Liam said. Want to see her face when she does it? Don't be stupid. Already am. I stopped in a storm. That's not how you survive. He walked out. Production floor. Workers gathering. Nervous. Whispering. Everyone knew what CEO inspections meant. 9:58 a.m. Executive entrance opened. She walked in. Audrey Sterling, CEO, Empire Builder. Black suit probably worth 3 months of his salary. Right wrist in a professional brace. Hair perfect. Face composed. Cold. Nothing like the woman who'd cried in a cabin and asked if he felt like drowning. 2 men flanked her. One tall, silver-haired, expensive suit. Clinton Morse, VP of Operations. Liam had seen his picture in company newsletters, the other younger, hungry-eyed shark smile. Henry Blake, Regional Director. The kind who called people human capital and meant it. Audrey walked onto the floor. Eyes swept the crowd, professional, distant. Looking for problems, not people. Liam stood in back with maintenance crew, watching. Her eyes found him. She stopped. Just a second. Face didn't change, but eyes locked on and Liam saw it. Recognition, shock. Something that might have been fear. She knew. Clinton whispered something. She nodded. Broke eye contact. Kept walking. Toward the platform. Toward the microphone. Toward the announcement that would end 50 lives. Morrison stood nearby. Thin smile. Victory already tasted. Otis caught Liam's eye, shook his head. Don't. Whatever you're thinking, don't. But Liam wasn't thinking. He was remembering. Her voice in the dark. I haven't talked like this in years. Her question. Do you ever feel like you're drowning every day? But I keep swimming. Audrey reached the platform. Clinton handed her a folder. The termination list. Numbers about to become human just long enough to be dismissed. She opened it, looked at the names, face perfectly still. Liam's heart hammered, hands shaking. Somewhere Bridget was in school probably telling kids about her dad who saved someone in a storm. Drawing pictures of warm things because that's what she did when the world felt cold. Audrey lifted her head, found the microphone. And Liam saw something that made his blood freeze. Her hand was trembling, just slightly. Her jaw was set too tight, eyes too hard. She was forcing herself to do this. Last night meant nothing to the Empire, but it meant something to her. He could see it. The crack she was trying to hold closed. Clinton stepped closer to her, said something low. She nodded. She was going to do it anyway. Read the names, cut the people. Feed the machine. Because that's what empires demanded. What CEOs did. What survival required when you stopped believing Worm could beat Storm. The microphone clicked on. Audrey Sterling took a breath. And Liam Carter understood with perfect clarity that the woman who'd asked him about drowning was about to go under. And he was going to drown with her. Audrey's finger touched the microphone. Feedback squealed through the bioplant. 300 faces looked up at her. Good morning. I'm Audrey Sterling, CEO of Sterling Dynamics. Her voice was cold, professional. The voice that signed contracts and closed deals and made decisions that affected thousands of lives without blinking. I'm here today to discuss our Q4 restructuring initiative. Liam's hands balled into fists. Restructuring. Corporate speak for we're cutting you loose. Clinton Morse stepped forward, handed her a second folder, thicker. She took it without looking at him. Over the past quarter, we've conducted extensive analysis of operational efficiency across all departments. The data indicates significant redundancy in certain sectors, particularly maintenance and floor operations. Data, numbers, not people, not families, not kids who needed insulin and trailers that needed rent. Morrison was smiling now, full teeth. Audrey's hand tightened on the folder. Effective immediately, we will be implementing workforce optimization that will affect approximately 53 positions across 3 shifts. A sound went through the crowd, not quite a gasp, more like air being sucked out of the room. Affected employees will be notified by end of business today. Severance packages will be distributed according to tenure and performance metrics. HR will be available for individual consultations starting at noon. She paused. Her eyes swept the crowd again, found Liam, held for half a second. Then she looked away. This decision wasn't made lightly, but Sterling Dynamics must remain competitive in an increasingly challenging market. We appreciate your service and wish those affected the best in their future endeavors. That was it. 53 families, done. Wrapped up in 4 minutes of corporate language that meant nothing and everything. Clinton took the microphone. Department heads will receive termination lists within the hour. All affected personnel must vacate premises by 5 p.m. today. Security will escort anyone who refuses to comply. Are there questions? Silence, heavy, crushing. Then a voice from the back, felt as steady. Otis Palmer. What about the safety reports? Clinton's smile didn't reach his eyes. What about them? 3 departments filed reports in the last quarter. Valve irregularities, coolant system concerns, electrical faults in Section D. Those reports still being reviewed, or we just ignoring them while we cut the people who wrote them? Morrison's face went red. Palmer, this isn't the time. Seems like exactly the time. Otis cut him off. We're cutting maintenance staff while equipment's failing. That sounds smart to anyone else. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Agreement, fear, anger mixing together. Clinton's voice went sharp. All safety protocols are being followed to the letter. If you have specific concerns, file them through the proper channels. This meeting is about restructuring, not maintenance procedures. Restructuring is going to matter a whole lot less when Section D blows a valve and takes half the plant with it, Otis said. That's enough. Morrison stepped forward. Palmer, you're out of line. Maybe, but I'm right. Henry Blake, the regional director, whispered something to Clinton. Clinton nodded, leaned back to the microphone. Since safety seems to be a concern, let me be clear. This company has an impeccable safety record. We've gone 14 months without a major incident. Our systems are state-of-the-art, and any employee who continues to spread alarmist rumors about equipment failures will face disciplinary action. Translation: shut up or join the termination list. Audrey stood there, silent, watching. Her face gave nothing away, but Liam saw her right hand, the one in the brace, tighten on the folder until her knuckles went white. Clinton continued. Now, unless there are legitimate questions about the restructuring process, this meeting is concluded. Department heads my office in 15 minutes. He clicked off the microphone. The crowd started dispersing. Slow. Shocked. People huddled in groups, whispering, checking phones, wondering if their names were on the list. Liam stood frozen, watching Audrey walk off the platform with Clinton and Henry flanking her like guards. She didn't look back, didn't hesitate, just walked away. Otis appeared beside him. Sorry, son, I tried. Wasn't your fight. It's everyone's fight. They're gutting this place and calling it optimization. Otis shook his head. You should go home, be with Bridget, don't wait for the official notice. I'm already suspended. Guess termination's just the next step. Liam. A sound cut through the noise, sharp, metallic, wrong. Everyone froze. The sound came again, hissing, high pressure, from Section D 300 feet away. Coolant line, someone shouted. Morrison was already moving radio in hand. Maintenance to Section D, we've got a leak. Liam didn't think. Instinct took over. He ran. Section D was a maze of pipes and valves and pressure systems that kept the industrial cooling system running. The hissing was coming from a junction valve near the main line. Coolant was spraying in a thin, deadly stream already pooling on the floor. 2 maintenance guys stood there staring. Someone shut it down, Morrison barked into his radio. Can't, one of the guys yelled back. Isolation valve's jammed. Then override it manually. Manual overrides on the other side. We go near that spray, we're done. The coolant was chemical-based, concentrated. Touch your skin, you had seconds before serious burns. Breathe it, your lungs melted. Liam scanned the area. The manual override was behind the spray, but there was a gap. Narrow. Maybe wide enough. He grabbed a welding shield from the wall, a pair of heavy gloves. Carter, what are you doing? Morrison shouted. Liam didn't answer. He moved fast. Used the shield to deflect the spray. Got close enough to reach the override wheel. Coolant hit the shield, hissed, ate into the metal. He grabbed the wheel, turned. Stuck. Turned harder. Muscles screaming, wheel wouldn't budge. He braced his feet. Put everything into it. The wheel groaned. Moved. Half turn? Full turn. The spray died. The hissing stopped. Liam stepped back, breathing hard. Gloves smoking from coolant exposure. Shield pitted and scarred. Silence. Then Morrison's voice tight with something Liam couldn't read. Carter, my office, now. I'm suspended. Not anymore, you just saved us $40,000 in downtime and God knows how much in contamination cleanup. Move. Liam dropped the shield, followed Morrison back to the office, but instead of just Morrison, Clinton Morse and Henry Blake were there, and Audrey, standing by the window, face still unreadable. Clinton spoke first. That was reckless, Liam blinked. It was necessary. You bypassed protocol, didn't wait for safety team authorization, didn't follow shutdown procedures. You put yourself and others at risk. There was no time for protocol. That leak was 30 seconds from spreading to the main line. Whole section would have been contaminated. That's not your call to make, Henry said. You're maintenance, not management. You don't make operational decisions. Morrison jumped in. He made the right call. Kid saved our bacon. He broke protocol, Clinton repeated. Sterling Dynamics has procedures for a reason. When employees think they know better than the system, people get hurt. Audrey still hadn't spoken. She was watching Liam, eyes calculating, measuring. You wrote a safety report 2 months ago, she said suddenly, about valve irregularities in Section D. Liam met her gaze. Yes, ma'am. That report was filed directly with regional bypassing your immediate supervisor. My immediate supervisor buried it. Morrison's face went purple. That's a damn lie. Is it? Audrey's voice cut like a blade. She turned to Morrison. The reports in my briefing file, dated 8 weeks ago, flagged valve V47 as potentially compromised. That's the valve that just failed, isn't it? Silence. Clinton stepped forward. With respect, Ms. Sterling maintenance reports come in constantly. We can't act on every perceived issue. We prioritize based on data and risk assessment. The data said the valve was failing. The risk assessment should have flagged it critical. Hindsight's perfect, Henry said smoothly. But in the moment, with dozens of reports coming in, we make judgment calls. Sometimes equipment fails. That's why we have protocols. Protocols Carter just violated, Clinton added. Audrey looked at Liam. Did you violate protocol? Yes, ma'am. Why? Because following protocol would have taken 15 minutes. We had 30 seconds. Sometimes you got to choose between doing it right and doing it now. That's not how we operate, Clinton said. Maybe it should be, Liam said quietly. The room went cold. You didn't talk to VP of Operations like that. Not if you wanted to keep your job. But Liam's job was already gone. His name was on the list. He had nothing left to lose. Clinton's voice went dangerous. You're terminated, effective immediately. Security will escort you out. Wait, Audrey's voice, firm. He just saved us significant financial loss. We're terminating him for that. We're terminating him for insubordination and protocol violation. The financial outcome is irrelevant. The financial outcome is never irrelevant. Ms. By is Sterling. Clinton's tone shifted. Patronizing, careful. I understand this is your first major operational decision, but we can't set a precedent of rewarding employees who break rules even if the results happen to be favorable. It undermines everything we've built. Translation, stay in your lane, little girl. Let the men handle this. Audrey's jaw tightened. How many safety reports have been filed in the last 6 months? Morrison shuffled. I'd have to check exact numbers. Ballpark. Maybe 30, 40. How many resulted in action? Silence. How many? Audrey pressed. 4. Morrison finally said. Maybe 5. And the others, reviewed and deemed non-critical based on available data. Who makes that determination? My office in consultation with regional operations. Morrison glanced at Clinton. Audrey turned to Clinton. So, maintenance staff file reports. Your office decides which ones matter, and the ones you decide don't matter get ignored until something fails. That's an oversimplification. Is it? Henry cut in smooth as oil. Ms. Sterling, I think what Clinton's trying to explain is that we operate on a tiered risk management system. Not every report indicates genuine danger. Some are just routine observations. We have to filter signal from noise. And when you filter wrong, equipment fails and we lose money. When we over-respond to every report, we lose money on unnecessary maintenance, Clinton countered. It's a balance, one that requires experience and judgment. The unspoken message hung there, experience and judgment you don't have. Audrey looked at Liam. The valve that failed. What was your specific concern in the original report? Pressure readings were inconsistent, fluctuating outside normal range. Could have been sensor error, but the pattern suggested actual valve degradation. I recommended inspection and possible replacement. Cost of replacement. Valve itself maybe $3,000, labor another $2,000. $5,000 total, give or take. And cost of today's leak. Morrison cleared his throat. Downtime, lost production. Cleanup, potential contamination spread. $40,000 minimum. Could hit $60,000 if there's secondary damage. So we saved $5,000 and lost $40,000. Audrey let that sit. That's quite a balance. Clinton's voice went hard. One incident doesn't invalidate an entire system. No, but it sure as hell suggests the system needs review. The plant alarm went off. Emergency. Loud, piercing. Everyone's radios crackled at once. Panicked voices. Shouting. Explosion in Section D, multiple injuries, emergency crews respond. Audrey's face went white. Clinton grabbed his radio. What exploded? Pressure valve V51, same junction as the coolant leak. It's bad. Liam was already moving, out of the office, running toward Section D. Behind him, voices shouting his name, but he didn't stop. Section D was chaos. Smoke. Alarms. People running. The pressure valve had blown, sent shrapnel through the area like a bomb. 3 people down. Blood. Burns. Emergency crews weren't there yet. Liam ran to the nearest worker. Young kid, early 20s, face cut, bleeding. You okay? I think... Yeah, I'm okay. Get out. Go to medical. Now. He moved to the next. Older guy. Marco. Leg torn up bad. Liam grabbed the emergency kit from the wall, started wrapping the wound. Pressure. Stop the bleeding. You're gonna be fine. Stay with me. Through the smoke, he saw her. Audrey. Standing near the blast zone. Too close. A secondary pipe was groaning, pressure building, ready to give. Get back! Liam shouted. She didn't hear, or didn't understand. Just stood there, staring at the destruction, her face a mask of shock. The pipe groaned louder, started to crack. Liam dropped everything. Ran. Grabbed Audrey. Pulled her back, hard. They went down together just as the pipe burst. Superheated steam screamed through the space where she'd been standing. His left arm caught the edge of the blast. Pain. White hot. Searing. He bit down hard, tasted blood, but didn't let go of her. Stay down. The steam vented. Dissipated. Emergency crews were pouring in. Hazmat suits, extinguishers, medics. Audrey was shaking. You pulled me. You were in the blast zone. Your arm. He looked. His left sleeve was gone. Skin underneath was red. Blistering. 2nd-degree burns, maybe 3rd in spots. Hurt like hell. I'm fine. You're not fine. A medic ran over. Sir, let me see that arm. Liam let them look. Let them wrap it. Let them inject something that made the world go fuzzy at the edges. Through it all, he watched Audrey. She hadn't moved. Just sat there in her expensive suit covered in dust and chemical residue, staring at the destruction. Why do you keep saving me? Her voice was barely audible under the alarms. Because you're a person. I was about to fire you. Read your name off a list, destroy your life, and you just... Yeah. She looked at him. Really looked. For the first time since the cabin, he saw past the CEO. Saw Audrey. The woman who'd asked if he ever felt like drowning. The woman who was going under right now. I don't understand you. Not much to understand. You needed help. I helped. That's it. That's not it. That's never just it. Her voice broke. You should hate me. Probably, but I got a kid who believes warm beats storm. Hard to hate people when you're trying to teach that. Clinton and Henry appeared flanked by security. Clinton's face was steel. Ms. Sterling, we need to leave. Now. This area is not secure. She let them pull her up. Pull her away. She looked back at Liam once. He couldn't read her expression. Couldn't tell if she was grateful or guilty or just done with all of it. The medics finished wrapping his arm. You need to go to the hospital. These burns are serious. After, I need to check on the others. Sir. After. He found Otis. The old man had been helping evacuate workers, somehow dodging the worst of it. You okay? Otis asked. Been better. You saved her again. She was standing in the wrong place. She's always standing in the wrong place, son. That's her problem. Otis looked at the destruction. This wasn't an accident. V-47 fails, then an hour later, V-51 blows. Those valves were installed same time, same supplier, same batch. Liam's brain started working through the pain. You think they're all compromised? I think someone replaced quality valves with cheap ones and hoped nobody'd notice till after the restructuring. That's insane. That's profit margin. Cheap valves skim the difference, retire before they fail. Otis shook his head. Morrison wouldn't be smart enough, but Clint and Henry, those boys know how to make numbers dance. Before Liam could respond, Morrison appeared, flanked by security. Carter, you're coming with me. Where? Emergency board meeting, 15 minutes, top floor, don't make me drag you. I'm not management. Why would I? Because Clinton's calling for your immediate termination for reckless endangerment, and Sterling wants you there to defend yourself. Otis grabbed Liam's good shoulder. Don't go alone, I'm coming. You don't have to. Shut up and let's go. They went. The executive conference room was all glass and leather and wood that cost more than Liam's truck. Board members were filing in. Clinton, Henry, Morrison, department heads, and Audrey sitting at the head of the table, face composed again. Ice Queen back in place. Clinton started before everyone even sat down. The incident in Section D was a direct result of employee recklessness. Liam Carter bypassed safety protocols twice today, first with the coolant leak, and then by entering an active hazard zone without authorization. His actions endangered himself and others, including Ms. Sterling. I'm recommending immediate termination and possible legal action. Henry nodded. The company's liability exposure is significant. If Carter had been killed, or if Ms. Sterling had been injured due to his interference, we'd be facing lawsuits and regulatory investigations. We need to act decisively. Morrison, to Liam's surprise, spoke up. Carter saved lives today, both times. Without him, that coolant leak would have spread. Without him, Marco would have bled out before medics arrived. He also violated protocol, Clinton said flatly. We can't selectively enforce rules based on outcomes. Either we have procedures or we don't. Maybe we have the wrong procedures, Otis said. Every head turned. Old maintenance floor managers didn't speak in board meetings, ever. Excuse me, Clinton's voice could have frozen nitrogen. I said maybe we have the wrong procedures. Or maybe we got the right procedures and the wrong people ignoring them. Otis pulled a folder from his coat. I've been doing maintenance in this plant 23 years. I keep records. Every safety report filed. Everyone ignored. Every valve line and system flagged as potential problems. He dropped the folder on the table. In the last 6 months alone, 17 critical reports got buried. 8 of them were about valves in Section D, all signed off as non-critical, all waiting to fail. Silence. That's, Clinton started. Public record? Otis cut him off. Anyone can request maintenance logs. I did. These are copies. Dates, signatures, risk assessments. All of it. Including the approvals that said cheap replacement valves were acceptable substitutes for manufacturer specifications. Henry's face went carefully blank. Replacement parts are chosen based on cost-benefit analysis. That's standard across all industries. Sure is. Long as the replacement parts actually meet spec. These didn't. Manufacturer rated for 3,000 psi. Replacements rated for 2,200. Section D runs at 2,400 during peak operation. Otis looked at Clinton. You signed the purchase order. Saved the company $43,000. Probably got a nice performance bonus for it. Clinton's voice went dangerously quiet. Are you accusing me of something? I'm stating facts. You make of them what you want. Audrey spoke for the first time. Let me get this straight. We installed substandard valves to save money. Those valves failed. And now we're discussing terminating the employee who tried to prevent the failure and saved lives when it happened anyway. That's a gross oversimplification, Henry said. Is it, explain the part I'm missing? Engineering decisions require trade-offs. We balance cost performance and risk across thousands of components. Occasionally, despite our best efforts, equipment fails. That's why we have insurance and contingency protocols. And apparently, employees willing to ignore protocols to save people. Protocols exist for a reason, Clinton said. Without them, we have chaos. Without them, we also have 2 people dead today instead of 0, Audrey said coldly. I want a full safety review, every system, every report, every ignored flag. I want it on my desk in 48 hours. Clinton leaned back. Ms. Sterling, with respect, that is not feasible. We have production schedules, customer commitments. A review that extensive would require shutting down multiple sections. The financial impact would be catastrophic. More catastrophic than the lawsuit we're facing when Marco's family sues because we knowingly operated faulty equipment. There's no proof we knowingly. There's a folder full of proof sitting on this table. Henry's turn, smooth, calm. Miss Sterling, I understand this is emotional. You were nearly injured. That's traumatic. But we can't make operational decisions based on emotion. We need data. Analysis. Careful review. Translation, calm down, little girl. Let the grown-ups handle this. Audrey's eyes went cold. The data says our cost-cutting measures nearly killed people today. The analysis says our risk management system failed catastrophically. The careful review already happened every time a maintenance worker filed a report we ignored. So here's what's going to happen. Full safety review, 48 hours. Production continues in sections cleared by engineering. Everything else shuts down until we know it's safe. That will cost millions, Clinton said. Then it costs millions, better than body bags. The board will never approve this. I'm the CEO. I don't need the board to approve safety decisions. Clinton's mask slipped. Just for a second, Liam saw rage underneath. Pure, focused, dangerous. And Carter, Clinton asked, what's your decision on his termination? Audrey looked at Liam. His burned arm, his exhausted face, his work boots and grease-stained jeans, and absolute refusal to look away from doing the right thing. She looked at Clinton, at Henry, at Morrison, at every person in this room who'd built their careers on choosing profit over people. She thought about last night, the cabin, the fire, the question she'd asked him. Do you ever feel like you're drowning? She was drowning right now, going under, and every person at this table was watching, waiting to see if she'd grab the rope or let go. Carter's not terminated, she said quietly. Clinton's jaw dropped. Ms. Sterling. He's suspended 48 hours, same timeline as the safety review. When the review's done, we'll determine appropriate action based on findings. If the review shows procedures needed to be bypassed, he's cleared. If not, we revisit termination. That's unacceptable, Clinton said flatly. Then quit. The room went dead silent. Audrey stood. Meeting's over. Clinton, Henry, I want those valve purchase orders. Everyone from the last 2 years. Morrison, I want names of everyone who filed safety reports that got buried. Otis, thank you for your honesty. It won't be forgotten. She walked to the door, stopped, looked back at Liam. Carter, my office, 5 minutes. Then she was gone. Clinton stood slowly, looked at Liam with eyes that promised murder. This isn't over. Never thought it was, Liam said. He walked out. Otis followed. In the hallway, Otis grabbed his shoulder. You just made enemies of the 2 most dangerous men in this company. Add them to the list. This isn't a joke. I know. Liam looked at his burned arm, at the plant below, at 300 people who didn't know if they'd have jobs tomorrow. But maybe it's time somebody stopped treating it like one. He headed for the executive elevator, toward Audrey's office, toward whatever came next. Behind him, through the conference room glass, he saw Clinton on his phone. Angry, urgent, making calls. Whatever came next was coming fast. The executive elevator was glass. Liam watched the plant floor drop away beneath him. 300 people down there, working machines not knowing their jobs, hung on a thread being pulled by men in suits who'd never touched a wrench. His arm throbbed. The painkillers were wearing off. Good. He needed to feel this, needed to stay sharp. The doors opened. Top floor. Audrey's office was at the end of a hallway that probably cost more than his annual salary. Her assistant, a young woman with perfect hair and terrified eyes, looked up. She's expecting you. Go in. Liam knocked once, didn't wait for an answer. Walked in. Audrey stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows back to him looking down at the plant. Her reflection in the glass showed her face. She looked exhausted, older than she had last night. Close the door. He did. Silence. Long. Heavy. You should be at the hospital, she said finally. I've had worse. That's not an answer. It's the only one I got. She turned. Her eyes went to his bandaged arm. Something flickered in her expression. Guilt, maybe, or anger. Hard to tell. Why didn't you tell me who you were last night? In the cabin. You didn't ask. Don't play games with me, Carter. I'm not. You asked my name. I gave it. You asked what I did. I told you, mechanic. All true. You knew who I was. Not until this morning. When Morrison said Sterling was coming for inspection, that's when I figured it out. He paused. Did you know last night? No? The word came fast, defensive. I had no idea until my assistant showed me the rescue report this morning. Your name? Your employer? Everything. Must have been a hell of a surprise. You have no idea. She walked to her desk, sat, gestured to the chair across from her. Sit. I'm good standing. That wasn't a request. He sat. She pulled up something on her computer, turned the screen toward him. It was his personnel file. Photo, work history, performance reviews, disciplinary actions. 6 years with Sterling Dynamics. Started as basic maintenance. Worked your way up. Solid performance reviews until 18 months ago. Then it changes. Refuses to follow chain of command. Questions management decisions. Creates conflict with supervisors. 3 formal write-ups, 2 suspensions, and as of this morning recommended for termination. She looked up. That sound right? Sounds about right. What changed 18 months ago? Liam was quiet for a moment. Then my wife died 3 years ago. Took me 2 years to really figure out how to live without her. How to be both parents for Bridget. How to keep going when everything hurt. And when I finally got my head above water, I looked around and actually saw things. Really saw them. The corners being cut, the reports being buried, the way guys like Morrison and Clinton treat workers like equipment that breaks and gets replaced. So you became a problem. I became someone who gave a damn. And that got you marked for termination. That got me marked. Section D got me terminated. Least it was supposed to. Audrey leaned back. Why did you pull me from the blast zone? You knew who I was by then. Knew I was about to fire you. You could have let me stand there. No, I couldn't. Why not? Because you're a person. I'm the person who's destroying your life. Still a person. She stared at him. I don't understand you. You said that already. In the cabin, remember? Right before you asked me why I kept saving you. And you said because I'm a person. Like that explains everything. It does. It doesn't. Her voice cracked, sharp, frustrated. People don't work like that. People don't help the people who hurt them. They don't save the people who are destroying them. That's not how survival works. Maybe I'm not trying to survive. Maybe I'm trying to live. There's a difference. There's no difference when you're drowning. You asked me that last night. If I ever felt like I was drowning, I said every day. You know what I didn't tell you? The part where drowning's only fatal if you stop swimming. Long as you keep moving, keep reaching for something, you got a chance. And what are you reaching for, Carter? Your job's gone. Your reputation's destroyed. Clinton and Henry will make sure you never work in manufacturing again. What's left? My kid, my self-respect, the ability to look at myself in the mirror and not hate what I see. He met her eyes. What are you reaching for? She looked away. I'm CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. I have everything. That's what you have, not what you're reaching for. They're the same thing. Are they? 'Cause last night in that cabin, you didn't sound like someone who had everything. You sounded like someone who had nothing that mattered. Her jaw tightened. Last night was a mistake. What part? The talking, the honesty? Or just the part where you let yourself be human for a few hours? All of it. She stood. Last night was an aberration. A moment outside of reality. This is reality. I'm CEO. You're an employee. I make decisions that affect thousands of people, and I can't make them based on one night in a cabin where we pretended the world didn't exist. I'm not asking you to. Then what are you asking? I'm asking if you remember what you said about drowning, about everyone just watching. He stood too. I'm asking if you're going to be one of the people who watches or one of the people who swims. Before she could answer, her phone rang. She grabbed it. What? Her assistant's voice shaky. Ms. Sterling, I have Henry Blake on line 1. He says it's urgent. Tell him I'm in a meeting. He says if you don't take the call, he's going directly to the board. Audrey's face went cold. Put him through. She hit speaker. Henry, what's so urgent? Henry's voice oozed through the speaker. Calm, reasonable, deadly. Audrey, I wanted to give you a courtesy heads up before I make my report to the board. Clinton and I have been reviewing today's incidents, and we've identified serious concerns about your decision-making. My decision to not let people die? Yeah, I stand by that one. Your decision to override executive consensus, suspend production without board approval, and protect an employee who's demonstrated repeated disregard for company policy. The board's going to have questions, serious ones. Let them ask. They're going to ask whether you're capable of making objective decisions, whether personal feelings are clouding your judgment, whether the trauma of yesterday's accident has affected your mental state. Liam saw Audrey's hand clench. Careful, Henry. I'm being careful. I'm trying to protect you from yourself. The board meeting's in 2 hours. Clinton and I are recommending a temporary transfer of operational authority pending a full review of your fitness to lead. You're trying to remove me. We're trying to stabilize the company. Today was chaos. Production's halted. Employees are terrified. Customers are calling. We need steady leadership, not emotional reactions. I'm not being emotional. I'm being responsible. You nearly died today. You were rescued by an employee you just met. That creates complications, emotional attachments that compromise judgment. Liam's blood went cold. They knew about the cabin. Henry kept talking. We know about the rescue yesterday, about the time you spent alone with Carter, about the conversations you had. We're not judging. Trauma bonds are common in life-threatening situations, but they cloud judgment. You can't objectively assess an employee you feel personally indebted to. I'm not indebted. I'm being fair. You're protecting someone who should be terminated, someone who cost us the respect of our executive team, someone who's turned you against the very people trying to help you succeed. Henry's voice dropped, sympathetic, poisonous. Your father built this company over 40 years. In 48 hours, you've almost destroyed it. The board sees that, Clinton sees it, I see it. The question is, do you— Audrey's face was white. His face was— The meeting's in 2 hours. Yes, we hoped you'd voluntarily step aside for a few weeks. Let Clinton handle operations while you recover. No shame in it. You've been through trauma. And if I don't step aside, then we vote. And I think you know how that vote will go. The line went dead. Audrey stood there, frozen. The Ice Queen mask was cracking. Liam could see the terror underneath. He's bluffing, Liam said. He's not. Her voice was hollow. The board hated that my father left the company to me instead of promoting internally. They've been waiting for me to fail. Clinton and Henry have been positioning themselves for months. This is the excuse they needed. So fight. With what I've been CEO for 6 months, half the board doesn't know my name. The other half resents that I exist. I have no allies, no leverage, no proof that Clinton's lying. You have Otis's folder, the maintenance logs, which prove equipment failed. Not that Clinton's corrupt. He'll say it was cost management, reasonable business decisions. They'll believe him over me. Then we find proof. In 2 hours, that's not possible. Maybe not, but giving up's definitely not possible. She looked at him. Why do you care if they remove me? Maybe the new CEO doesn't fire you. Maybe you get your job back. Or maybe Clinton gets promoted and I'm gone by tomorrow anyway. Either way, this isn't about my job anymore. Then what's it about? It's about whether warm beats storm, whether doing the right thing matters, whether people like you and me just roll over when people like Clinton and Henry decide we don't matter. He stepped closer. Last night you asked if I ever felt like drowning. Now I'm asking you, you gonna drown or you gonna swim? Her phone rang again. Assistant. Miss Sterling, there's a Bridget Carter here to see Mr. Carter. She says it's an emergency. Liam's heart stopped. Bridget, what's she doing here? She's with an older woman, Mrs. Chen. They're in the lobby. Liam was already moving. I gotta go. Wait, Audrey stood. Bring her up. This is an executive floor. Kids can't. I'm the CEO. Kids can if I say they can. Bring her up. Liam took the elevator back down, his mind racing. Bridget shouldn't be here. Mrs. Chen knew better. Something was wrong. The lobby doors opened. There she was. Bridget, still in her school clothes, face streaked with tears. Mrs. Chen beside her looking worried. Bridge, what's wrong? She ran to him, crashed into his legs. Daddy, Mrs. Chen said you got hurt. She heard it on the radio. The plant exploded and people got burned and she said you were there and I got scared. I'm okay, baby girl. Look. He knelt down, showed her his bandaged arm. Just a little burn, nothing serious. You promise? I promise. She threw her arms around his neck, held tight. He felt her shaking. Mrs. Chen spoke quietly. School called. Said Bridget was crying in class. Wouldn't stop. I wanted to get her, tried to tell her you were fine, but she needed to see you. I understand. Thank you for bringing her. The radio said the plant's shutting down. Said there's going to be layoffs. Liam, if you need help with her while you sort things out. I know, thank you. The elevator dinged. Audrey stepped out, still in her suit, still composed, but her eyes went soft when she saw Bridget. This must be Bridget. Bridget pulled back from Liam, stared. Who are you? My name's Audrey. I work with your dad. Are you his boss? Audrey hesitated. Something like that. Are you the one who made the plant explode? Bridget. Liam started. No. Audrey knelt down to Bridget's level. I didn't make it explode, but I'm responsible for the people who work there, including your dad. And I'm very sorry you were scared today. Bridget studied her, 7-year-old eyes that saw everything. Daddy saved somebody last night in the storm. Was that you? Yes. He said you were hurt. I was. Your dad helped me. That's what he does. He helps people. Bridget's voice got fierce, protective. Even when they're mean to him. Even when they don't deserve it. Because that's what warm does. It beats storm. Audrey's breath caught. She looked at Liam. Back to Bridget. Your dad told me you say that. Warm always beats storm. It's true. Daddy says so. Even when things are bad, if you keep being warm, the storm can't win. Bridget touched Audrey's hand. Are you part of the storm? The question hung there. Simple. Devastating. A 7-year-old asking what adults spent lifetimes avoiding. Audrey's eyes filled. She blinked fast. I don't know. I'm trying not to be. Then you won't fire Daddy, because firing people is storm, and you're trying to be warm. Bridget, it's more complicated than Liam started. Is it? Audrey stood, looked at him. Something had shifted in her face, some decision made. Is it really more complicated? Or do we just tell ourselves that so we feel better about doing the wrong thing? She turned to Mrs. Chen. Ma'am, would you mind waiting with Bridget in the lobby? I need to speak with Mr. Carter for a moment. Of course. Bridget hugged Liam once more. I love you, Daddy. Love you too, Bridge. She went with Mrs. Chen. Audrey watched her go. When she spoke, her voice was different, stronger. I need to see the valve purchase orders, the real ones, not the sanitized versions Clinton showed the board. How do you plan to get those Clintons not going to just hand them over? No, but Morrison might know where they're kept. She pulled out her phone. And I think I know someone who can help us get inside. She dialed. Otis Palmer, I need you in my office, now. Pause. Yes, bring your folder, and bring anyone you trust who knows how to access secured files without leaving footprints. She hung up, looked at Liam. You asked me if I'm going to drown or swim. Here's your answer. We're swimming. And if Clinton and Henry want to push me under, they better be ready to come down with me. 15 minutes later, Audrey's office was full. Otis Palmer, 2 younger maintenance guys Liam recognized, tech-savvy types, and Morrison looking nervous. You asked to see me, Ms. Sterling. Hank, I need to know where Clinton keeps his financial records, the real ones, not what goes to accounting. Morrison paled. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. Clinton's been skimming, buying cheap equipment, billing for quality, pocketing the difference. You've known for months, maybe longer, and you've kept quiet because he's promised you a cut when he takes over. That's insane. I would never. You would. You have. But right now, I don't care. Right now, I care about stopping him from destroying this company and throwing 50 innocent people into unemployment to cover his tracks. So I'm offering you a choice. Help me find those records or go down with Clinton when this all comes out. Morrison's face worked. Fear, calculation, self-preservation winning. His office. There's a safe behind the COO portrait. Combinations his daughter's birthday backwards. He thinks nobody knows. Morrison swallowed. But the files won't help you. They're encrypted, buried in shell accounts and vendor invoices. You'll never prove anything in 2 hours. We don't need to prove everything. Just enough to raise questions. Enough to make the board pause. One of the tech guys spoke up. Young, Asian kid with glasses. If we can get the files, I can break the encryption. My cousin works in cyber forensics. Takes 20 minutes, maybe 30. Audrey looked at Liam. This is illegal. Breaking into an executive's office, stealing files. If we're caught, it's over. Criminal charges, everything. Then we don't get caught. I can't ask you to risk that. You've already lost enough. You're not asking. I'm volunteering. He looked at Otis. The tech guys, Morrison. We all are. Why? Audrey's voice broke. Why would you all risk everything for this? Otis answered. Because 53 families don't deserve to lose everything because some corporate suit wanted a bigger bonus. Because your father built this place on the idea that good engineering and good people matter. And because watching you almost die today reminded us that maybe, just maybe, warm can beat storm. But only if we're willing to fight for it. Audrey nodded. Okay. Morrison, get us into Clinton's office, quietly. Otis, you're with me at the board meeting. Stall them. Keep them talking. The rest of you get those files and get them decoded. Bat. They moved. Morrison led Liam and the tech guys down to the executive wing. Clinton's office was dark. Empty. The COO portrait hung on the wall. Expensive. Pretentious. Morrison pulled it aside. Safe. Digital lock. He punched in numbers. Click. Open. Inside were 3 folders, red, marked confidential, and a laptop. External hard drive. The tech kid grabbed everything. Got it, let's go. They were halfway down the hall when voices echoed. Clinton, Henry, coming back. Go, Morrison hissed. I'll stall them. Hank, go. Liam and the tech guys ran. Different hallway. Maintenance access. Down 3 flights of stairs, into a storage room. Door locked behind them. The tech kid was already opening the laptop. Okay, let's see what we got. Files, spreadsheets, invoices, purchase orders, hundreds of them. There, Liam pointed. That date, that's when we started having valve problems. The kid pulled up the invoice. Valves purchased from Midwest Industrial Supply. Unit cost $7,200. Quantity 30 units. Total $216,000. Now check what was actually installed. The kid clicked through, found the specification sheets. These valves are rated for 2,200 psi. Midwest Industrial sells those for $3,200 each. So Clinton paid for $7,200 valves, bought $3,200 valves, 30 units. That's $120,000 difference. The kid whistled. Per order, and there's... He scrolled. 16 orders over 2 years. That's nearly $2 million. Where'd the money go? More clicking. Shell Company, Midwest Supply Solutions, registered in Delaware. Owner. His eyes went wide. Holy hell, Clinton Morse, 50% stake. Henry Blake's got the other 50. They'd done it. Proof, clear, undeniable. Liam's phone buzzed. Audrey. Tell me you found something. We found everything. Clinton and Henry have been skimming millions. Proof's right here. The board meeting just started. Get up here. Now. Liam grabbed the laptop, ran. The tech kids followed, up the stairs, through the halls, conference room. He burst through the doors. The entire board was there, 12 people. Clinton at the head of the table looking smug. Henry beside him. Audrey standing isolated facing them all, Clinton was mid-sentence. Clear that Ms. Sterling's judgment has been compromised by personal attachment to an employee who— Stop! Liam's voice cut through. Before you finish that sentence, you should know we found your files. Clinton's face went white, then red. You broke into my office. That's illegal. So's embezzling $2 million. Liam set the laptop on the table, opened it, turned it so the board could see. Purchase orders, real specs, bank transfers, all of it. You've been buying substandard equipment, billing the company for quality parts, and pocketing the difference through a shell company you own with Henry. The board members leaned forward, started reading. Clinton stood. This is fabricated. A desperate attempt by a terminated employee to— The valve that exploded today, Liam kept going. You installed it. $6,800 cheaper than what you billed. It failed because it wasn't rated for the pressure. 3 people got hurt. Ms. Sterling almost died because you wanted a bigger bonus. Henry jumped in. Even if these files are legitimate, and I'm not saying they are, they prove nothing. Equipment fails. That's reality. Audrey's emotional attachment to you is clouding— Shut up, Henry. Audrey's voice, ice cold. I'm not attached to Carter. I barely know him. But I know you. I know Clinton. I know exactly what you've been doing. My father trusted you, gave you positions of power, and you betrayed everything he built so you could buy vacation homes and sports cars. One of the board members, an older woman with steel gray hair, spoke up. These are serious allegations. If true, they represent massive breach of fiduciary duty. They're not true, Clinton said. They're fabrications by a disgruntled employee that Sterling is protecting because he saved my life twice. Audrey turned to face Clinton. Yeah, Carter saved me in a blizzard when I crashed, in an explosion when you cut corners that should have killed me, and you know what's really funny? He had every reason to let me die. I was about to fire him, destroy his career, take away everything that mattered to him, but he saved me anyway. Not because I deserved it, not because it benefited him, because that's what good people do. They save people, even people who don't deserve it. She looked at the board. My father built this company on good engineering and good people. You've let men like Clinton and Henry turn it into a machine that chews up good people and spits them out. Well, I'm done. Either we clean house starting with these two, or you remove me right now, but I'm not running a company where profit matters more than people's lives. Silence. The older board member spoke again. Ms. Sterling, these files need to be reviewed by legal, authenticated. We can't make decisions based on potentially stolen evidence. Then we vote, Clinton said quickly, on whether Ms. Sterling's fit to continue as CEO. That's why we're here. Let's vote. Second, Henry said. The board member sighed. All in favor of removing Audrey Sterling as CEO pending mental fitness review. 3 hands went up. Clinton, Henry, one other guy Liam didn't recognize. All opposed 6 hands, including the steel gray woman. Motion fails. Ms. Sterling retains her position. Clinton's face went purple. This is a mistake. She's emotionally compromised, unstable, protecting criminals. You're done talking, Clinton. The board member stood. This meeting's adjourned pending legal review of these allegations. If they're substantiated, and I suspect they will be, you and Henry will be terminated, and we'll pursue criminal charges. If they're not, we'll revisit Ms. Sterling's position. Until then, everyone stays in their current roles. Clear. Clinton and Henry left, fast, defeated but not destroyed. Not yet. The board filtered out. The steel gray woman stopped by Audrey. Your father would be proud. Or horrified. Both, probably. That's how you know you're not doing it right. She glanced at Liam. Take care of your CEO, Mr. Carter. She's going to need people who tell her the truth. Then she was gone. Audrey sat down, hard, like all the adrenaline had just drained out of her at once. I can't believe that worked. It almost didn't, Liam said. $2 million. They were stealing $2 million and I never noticed. You've been CEO 6 months. They've been doing this for years. That's not an excuse. I should have seen it. Maybe, or maybe you were too busy trying to prove you belonged in that chair to look at what was really happening. She looked at him. That's what you meant. About drowning. I was so focused on not going under, I forgot to actually swim. Yeah. And you just jumped in anyway. Saved me again. Told you, you're a person. I almost fired you. almost doesn't count. She laughed, exhausted, real. I don't know what happens now. Legal's going to take months. Clinton and Henry won't go quietly. The board's watching everything I do. And I still have a plant full of people who don't know if they have jobs tomorrow. So you tell them. The 53 people on the termination list, you tell them they're safe, that you're fixing things, that it'll take time but you're not giving up on them. Just like that. Just like that. And what about you? You're still suspended. Technically. Yeah, so I'll spend 48 hours with my kid. Maybe teach her some new things about engineering, about standing up when it matters, about how warm beats storm, even when the storm looks like it's winning. Audrey stood, walked to him. She was small. He'd forgotten how small, standing there in her expensive suit looking more vulnerable than she had in the cabin. Thank you, she said quietly, for saving me, for not giving up on me, for showing me that being CEO doesn't mean being cold. You're welcome. I'm going to call an assembly, tell everyone what happened, what we found, what we're doing about it. And I want you there, standing with me, showing them that speaking up matters, that the system can work if people fight for it. I'm just maintenance. No, you're the person who saved this company, and I want everyone to know it. She held out her hand. Liam looked at it, at her, at everything that had happened in the last 24 hours. Then he shook. All right, let's go tell them warm beat storm. Transition smoothly from the handshake into immediate action. They walked back down together, through the executive halls past the nervous assistants into the elevator. When the doors closed, Audrey leaned against the wall. I've never done this before, stood in front of everyone and admitted we failed them. You didn't fail them, Clinton and Henry did. I'm the CEO, it's all on me. Then own it. Tell them the truth. They'll respect that more than perfection. The doors opened. Production floor. Word had spread. Hundreds of workers gathered waiting, nervous, angry, scared. Morrison stood near the platform looking pale. Otis was there too, arms crossed, face grim. Audrey walked to the platform. The crowd quieted. Every eye on her. She didn't use notes, just stood there, small and human and real. Most of you don't know me. I've been CEO for 6 months. Before that, I spent my life in boardrooms learning how to run companies, how to read spreadsheets, how to make decisions based on data. She paused. Nobody taught me how to see people, how to know when the numbers are hiding something rotten, how to tell the difference between efficiency and cruelty. Silence. Total. You could hear the ventilation system humming. Today, I came here to announce 53 terminations, budget cuts, workforce optimization, corporate language for destroying 53 families because men in suits decided saving money mattered more than your lives. Her voice cracked. I was going to do it. Stand here and read names and pretend it was necessary. Pretend there was no other choice. Someone in the crowd shifted. A woman, middle-aged, face hard. So why didn't you? Because Liam Carter wouldn't let me. Every head turned to look at him. Liam wanted to disappear. Audrey kept going. Some of you know him. Night shift maintenance. 6 years here. Good worker. Better person. He wrote safety reports that got ignored. Questioned decisions that should have been questioned. Got marked for termination because he refused to shut up when shutting up was easier. She looked directly at Liam. Looked directly at. Yesterday during this blizzard, I crashed my car. He stopped, pulled me out, saved my life. We spent the night in a cabin and he told me about his daughter, about how she says warm always beats storm, about how you keep swimming even when you're drowning. The crowd was riveted. Audrey's voice got stronger. This morning I walked in here ready to fire him, ready to fire all of you on that list, ready to do what the numbers said was smart. Then equipment failed. Valves that should have been replaced months ago. Valves that 53 of you tried to warn us about through safety reports that got buried. Liam fixed the first leak, saved $40,000 in damages. Then when the explosion happened, he pulled me out of the blast zone, got burned doing it. Could have let me die. Should have let me die after what I was about to do to him. Why didn't he? Someone called out. Because he's a better person than I am. Audrey's voice went raw. Because he believes in something I'd forgotten. That people matter more than profit. That doing right matters more than doing well. That warm beats storm even when the storm looks like it's winning. She pulled out the laptop, set it on the platform. So we investigated. Liam Otis Palmer Morrison and some of your coworkers, we broke into an executive's office, stole files, committed crimes, and we found proof that Clinton Morse and Henry Blake have been embezzling millions of dollars by buying substandard equipment and pocketing the difference. The valve that exploded today, they installed it, saved $6,000, nearly killed 3 people. The crowd erupted, shouting, anger, fear, questions flying. Audrey raised her hand. The board's reviewing everything. Legal's involved. Clinton and Henry will be fired and prosecuted, but that doesn't fix the damage. Doesn't give you back the safety you should have had. Doesn't make up for the reports you filed that nobody listened to. She took a breath. So here's what's happening. No terminations. Nobody on that list is losing their jobs. We're doing a full safety review of every system. 48 hours. Anything that's questionable gets shut down until it's fixed right. Not fixed cheap. Fixed right. That's going to cost millions, someone said. Yes, it will. And we're going to pay it because you're worth it, because your families are worth it, because my father built this company on good engineering, and I'm not going to let criminals destroy that legacy. Otis stepped forward. What about the people who filed reports, the ones who got marked for speaking up? They're getting promoted. Every single one. If you spoke up when staying quiet was safer, you're exactly the kind of employee this company needs in leadership. The crowd started clapping. Slow at first, then building. Some people were crying, others looked skeptical. But the anger was shifting, turning from Audrey toward Clinton and Henry. Morrison stepped up beside her. I need to say something, his voice carried across the floor. Some of you know I've been hard on people. Written people up, made life difficult. I need you to know Clinton told me to do it. Told me which employees to target, which reports to bury, and I did it because I was scared of losing my job. Scared of standing up. He looked at Liam. Carter stood up, got marked for it. I should have stood with him. I didn't. That's on me. But it ends now. A younger guy from second shift called out, what about our jobs long term? You're saying we're safe today. What about next quarter when the board wants cuts again? Audrey met his eyes. I can't promise forever, but I can promise this. No more surprise terminations, no more spreadsheets deciding who matters. If we need to make cuts, we do it through attrition, through voluntary programs, through finding other ways. And we involve you, your union reps, your floor managers. No more decisions made in rooms you're not allowed into. That's a big promise, the guy said. It is, and if I break it, you should walk out. All of you. Burn this place down because a company that treats its people like numbers isn't worth saving. The crowd went quiet. That was not what CEOs said. For then someone started clapping. Slow, steady. Others joined. Within seconds, the entire floor was applauding. Not polite corporate clapping, real clapping. The kind that said, we hear you, we believe you, don't let us down. Audrey looked at Liam. He saw tears in her eyes. She blinked them back fast. One more thing, she said. Liam Carter is suspended for 48 hours pending safety review. When he comes back, he's our new head of safety engineering. Full authority to rebuild the system his way. Anyone has a problem with that, talk to me? More applause, louder. Otis was grinning. Morrison nodded. Even the skeptical faces were softening. Then Clinton's voice cut through like a knife. That's quite a speech, Miss Sterling. He stood at the back of the crowd, Henry beside him, both in expensive suits, both looking like men who'd just lost everything and were ready to take everyone down with them. Unfortunately, Clinton continued, it's all based on stolen evidence obtained through illegal means. Which means none of it's admissible in court. Which means we'll be suing you, this company, and everyone involved in that break-in for everything you're worth. The crowd shifted, nervous. Clinton kept talking. We'll also be filing complaints with the board about your incompetence, your emotional instability, your inappropriate relationship with a subordinate employee that's clouding your judgment. By tomorrow, you'll be removed. And your little speech here will be used as evidence that you're unfit to lead. Get off my floor, Audrey said coldly. It's not your floor. It's the company's floor, and soon it'll be mine. Clinton smiled. You had a chance to do this the easy way. Cut the dead weight, move forward, keep the machine running. But you got emotional, attached. Now you're going to lose everything, and so are they. He gestured to the workers. When she's removed and I take over, every person who supported her today is gone. Every person who clapped, every person who helped steal those files. You're all marked, all finished. So enjoy your victory. It's going to last about 12 hours. Liam started forward. Audrey caught his arm. Don't. He's threatening them. I know, but he's not wrong. The evidence is stolen. We broke the law getting it. A good lawyer will shred it. Clinton heard that. Smiled wider. Finally, you're thinking clearly. Too late, but still. Here's what's going to happen. Henry and I are leaving. We're lawyering up. Tomorrow we present our case to the board. They'll vote. You'll lose. And then everyone here learns what happens when you trust someone who plays at being savior. He turned to leave. Henry followed. Then a voice stopped them. Small, young, clear. You're mean. Everyone turned. Bridget was standing there. She'd come back in with Mrs. Chen. Been watching the whole thing. Her 7-year-old face was set, determined. Excuse me. Clinton looked down at her like she was an insect. You're mean. My daddy's not dead weight. He saves people. He saved her. She pointed at Audrey. He saved everyone today. And you're mean to him because he's better than you. Clinton's face went red. Little girl, you don't understand business. I understand mean. You're like the bullies at school. They're mean because they're scared someone's going to see they're not as good as they pretend to be. That's you. You're a scared bully. Bridget? Liam started toward her, but she wasn't done. My daddy says warm beats storm. You're storm. You're cold and mean and you hurt people? But warm always wins. 'Cause fire doesn't go out just because you're cold. Fire gets stronger when people are together. Clinton looked at Audrey. Control your employee's child or I'll add harassment to my lawsuit. She's 7 years old. She's interfering with business operations. She's telling the truth. That's not interference. That's just uncomfortable for you. Henry pulled Clinton's arm. Let's go. We've made our point. They left. The doors slammed behind them. The crowd was silent. Then Otis started clapping. Slow. For Bridget. Others joined. Within seconds, a 7-year-old girl was getting a standing ovation from 300 workers. Bridget looked confused. Why are they clapping? Because you're right, Liam said. Warm beats storm. Audrey knelt down to Bridget's level. Your dad's lucky to have you. I know, he tells me all the time. Bridget looked at Audrey seriously. Are you going to fire him? No, I'm going to make sure he can't be fired. Ever. Promise. Promise. Okay. Bridget took her dad's hand. Can we get pizza now, the good kind? Everyone laughed. Real laughs. Breaking tension. Making the moment human again. Yeah, baby girl, we can get pizza. Mrs. Chen took Bridget. Audrey turned back to the crowd. Shift's over early today. Everyone go home. Paid. Tomorrow we start the safety review. Otis will be coordinating. Liam's consulting. Anyone wants to help report at 6 a.m. The crowd dispersed. Slowly. Still talking. Still processing. But different than before. Hopeful, maybe. Or at least less afraid. Morrison approached Audrey. Clinton's right about one thing. The evidence is compromised. A lawyer will tear it apart. Then we find evidence that's not compromised, Audrey said. We audit everything, every purchase order, every invoice. If Clinton and Henry have been doing this for years, there's a paper trail that doesn't involve the stolen files. That'll take weeks, maybe months. Then we have weeks. Clinton said 12 hours till the board votes. We need to give them a reason to wait. Otis spoke up. What if we go public, call a press conference, lay out what we found? Even if it's not admissible in court, public pressure might force the board's hand. Or it'll tank the stock price and give them another reason to remove me, Audrey said. Maybe, but it'll also make it harder for them to sweep this under the rug. Liam had an idea. What if we don't go after Clinton with the stolen evidence? What if we use it to find the people he was working with, the vendors, the shell companies? They have records too. Legal records. If we can get them to testify, they won't. They're complicit. They'll lawyer up too. Unless we offer them immunity, give them a deal. Testify against Clinton and Henry, walk away clean. Audrey looked at him. That's not my decision. That's the DA's. So we call the DA. Show them what we have. Let them decide if it's worth pursuing. Morrison nodded slowly. The DA's office has been trying to nail corporate corruption for years. This would be a huge case. They'd jump at it. Assuming they believe us, Audrey said. Assuming they don't think I'm a desperate CEO trying to save my job by throwing executives under the bus. There's only one way to find out, Liam said. She pulled out her phone, made a call. This is Audrey Sterling, CEO of Sterling Dynamics. I need to speak with the district attorney. It's urgent. Pause. Yes, I'll hold. While she waited, Otis pulled Liam aside. You know this could blow up in all our faces, right? If the DA doesn't bite, if Clinton's lawyers are better, if the board votes her out before any of this matters, we're all done. I know. And you're still going? You got a better plan. Not even a little bit. Otis grinned. Your kid's something else, calling Clinton a scared bully. That took guts. She gets that from her mother. She gets it from you, too. Don't sell yourself short. Audrey was talking now, fast, intense, explaining the situation, listening, explaining more. Finally, yes, I'll bring everything. 1 hour, thank you. She hung up. DA wants to see the files, all of them. Says if they're as bad as I'm claiming, they'll open an investigation immediately. When? Morrison asked. Now, I'm meeting him at his office in an hour. She looked at Liam. I need you there. You're the one who found the evidence, the one who can explain the technical side. Will you come? Yeah, but I gotta drop Bridget home first. Bring her. The DA has kids. Maybe having a 7-year-old who believes in warm beating storm will remind him why this matters. They went, Liam driving his beat-up truck following Audrey's sleek sedan. Bridget sat in the back seat drawing pictures on an old notepad. Daddy, are you in trouble? Maybe. We're trying to fix things. But fixing things is hard when powerful people don't want them fixed. Is Miss Audrey nice? Yeah, Bridge, I think she is. Then she'll win. Nice people always win. Not always, baby. In my stories, they do. Life's not a story. Maybe it should be. He couldn't argue with that. The DA's office was downtown, 3rd floor, waiting room full of tired people with legal problems. The receptionist looked up. Audrey Sterling for District Attorney Chen. He's expecting you. Go on back. DA Chen was younger than Liam expected. 40 maybe? Sharp eyes, wedding ring, photos of 2 kids on his desk. He stood when they entered. Ms. Sterling, Mr. Carter, and this must be Bridget. Bridget waved. Have a seat. Show me what you've got. Audrey set the laptop on his desk, opened the files. Chen leaned forward, started reading. His expression didn't change, didn't react, just read, for 10 minutes straight. Finally, he sat back. This is substantial. If authentic, it's multiple felonies, fraud, embezzlement, reckless endangerment. We're talking serious prison time. It's authentic, Audrey said. But we obtained it illegally, breaking and entering, theft. I know that compromises it. It does, but it also gives us probable cause for warrants. We can subpoena the official records, get testimony from vendors, build a clean case around the dirty evidence. He looked at Liam. You're the one who broke in, Salma. Yes, sir. Why? Because people were getting hurt, because the system was failing, because someone needed to do something. That's not a legal defense. I know. Chen smiled slightly. But it's a damn good reason. He turned back to Audrey. Here's what I can do. I'll open an investigation immediately. Get warrants for Clinton's and Henry's financial records. Subpoena the shell companies. Interview vendors. If the evidence supports what you're showing me, I'll bring charges. But it'll take time, weeks minimum, maybe months. The board's voting tomorrow on whether to remove me, Audrey said. Can't help you with that. That's internal corporate politics, but I can do this. I can call the board chair tonight. Inform them there's an active criminal investigation into 2 executives. Strongly suggest they delay any major decisions until my investigation concludes. That might buy you time. Might? I can't force them to wait, but most boards don't like making big moves when law enforcement's watching. That's something, Audrey said. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. If this doesn't pan out, if the evidence falls apart, you're going to face serious backlash for wasting prosecutorial resources and making false accusations. It'll pan out, I'm certain. We'll see. Chen stood. I'll make the call tonight. Keep your phone on, and Mr. Carter, stay available. I'll need you to testify about how you found the evidence and why you believed it was necessary. Yes, sir. They left. Walking back to the parking lot, Bridget between them, Liam felt the weight of what they'd just done. The DA was involved. Real investigation, real consequences. You okay? Audrey asked. Thinking about what Clinton said, about marking everyone who helped today. If I testify, I'm putting a target on myself? You already have a target. We both do. Yeah, but mine has a kid attached. Audrey stopped walking. I'm sorry, I didn't think about that. About what this means for Bridget. If you want to back out, I'm not backing out, just acknowledging what I'm risking. Why risk it? You could walk away, find another job, keep your head down. Bridget answered before he could. Because warm beats storm, that's why. Audrey looked at her. You really believe that? Yep, and so does Daddy. That's why he saves people. Even when they're mean. Even when it's hard. 'Cause fire always wins if it's kind. Liam picked her up. Where'd you hear that last part? Made it up. Sounds right though, doesn't it? Yeah, baby, it sounds right. They drove Bridget home. Mrs. Chen took her for the night. Then Liam and Audrey sat in his truck engine running heat blasting. What happens now? He asked. We wait. See if the DA's call works. See if the board delays. See if Clinton and Henry lawyer up or run. And if the board doesn't delay, then I lose and Clinton takes over. And everyone who helped today pays the price. You keep saying that, like it's inevitable. It is. The board wants me gone. They've wanted it since Dad died. This is just an excuse. So fight harder. I'm fighting as hard as I can. No, you're not. You're fighting like someone who expects to lose. There's a difference. She looked at him. What would you do? I'd stop playing their game, stop trying to convince them you belong in that chair. Start acting like you already do. I don't know how. Yes, you do. You did it today, on that platform. Telling 300 people the truth. Promising them things you weren't sure you could deliver. Believing in something bigger than your own survival. That was desperation, not leadership. Maybe leadership's just desperation pointed in the right direction. She laughed, bitter, tired. You make it sound simple. It is simple, doesn't mean it's easy. His phone buzzed. Text from Otis. Safety teams assembling, 6 a.m. sharp. We're starting with Section D. Need you there if you can make it. Liam showed it to Audrey. Suspended, remember. Suspended from work, not from consulting, and you're the consultant. Be there. Yes, ma'am. She opened the truck door, stopped. Liam, thank you for everything, for not letting me drown. We're not done swimming yet. Thank me when we hit the shore. She nodded, left. He watched her drive away in her expensive car, headed back to her expensive life carrying the weight of 300 families on her shoulders. Then he drove home. His trailer was dark, cold. He turned on the heat, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table. Bridget's marshmallow bridge was still there, half finished. He picked up a toothpick, added a support strut, tested the stability. Strong enough, maybe. His phone rang. Audrey. The DA called the board chair. They're delaying the vote. Pending investigation. Relief flooded through him. That's good. It's temporary. Clinton's lawyers are already fighting back. They're claiming political persecution, media interference. They're not going quietly. Didn't expect them to. Liam, this is going to get ugly. Public. Your name's going to be in the news. Bridget's going to see it. Hear about it at school. I can try to keep you out of it, but don't. If they want to come at me, let them. I'm not hiding. You're sure? I'm sure fire always wins if it's kind, right? She laughed. Real laugh. Your daughter's smarter than both of us. Don't I know it? Get some sleep. Tomorrow starts early. Yeah, you too. He hung up. Finished Bridget's bridge. It held. Stronger than it looked. Maybe they'd hold too. 6 a.m. came fast. Liam showed up at the plant with coffee and his burned arm still wrapped. Section D was already crawling with safety inspectors, engineers, and half the maintenance crew. Otis was directing traffic, clipboard in hand, looking more alive than Liam had seen him in years. Carter. Good. Start with the pressure systems. Every valve, every gauge, every sensor. I want readings, dates, manufacturers. Everything. Liam worked. 4 hours straight, checking systems, recording data, finding problems everywhere. Cheap parts, faulty installations, shortcuts that saved money and cost lives. Every hour the list got longer. Around 10 a.m. Morrison showed up. Looked like he hadn't slept. I've been going through old files, purchase orders from 3 years back, before Clinton got promoted. Want to see something interesting? He showed Liam invoices, clean ones, quality parts, proper specs, then showed him invoices from after Clinton's promotion. Everything changed. Cheaper vendors, lower grades, higher profit margins. He's been doing this since day one, Morrison said. Systematic, planned, not just cutting corners, replacing the whole foundation with cardboard and hoping it held. How much total? Morrison's jaw tightened. Conservative estimate, $4 million, maybe $5 million, over 3 years. Liam whistled low. The DA's gonna have a field day. If we can prove it, Clinton's already claiming those files are fabricated, says we planted evidence to frame him. He really think that'll work? He's got expensive lawyers, they'll make it work if we let them. Audrey appeared. She'd been in meetings all morning. Board members, lawyers, PR teams. She looked exhausted but focused. Update, she said. Otis spoke first. Section D's a disaster. 17 critical systems compromised. We're shutting it down completely. Gonna take 6 weeks minimum to replace everything properly. Cost? $3 million, maybe $4 million. Do it. What else? Morrison handed her his files. Proof Clinton's been doing this for 3 years. Total embezzlement around $5 million. I've got vendor contacts who might testify if we offer protection. Get them to the DA today. She turned to Liam. Your section. Same story, bad valves, cheap sensors, systems running on borrowed time. We got lucky yesterday. Could have been way worse. How much worse? If that coolant had hit the main line, whole plant evacuated. Chemical contamination. OSHA shutdown. Lawsuits for years. We're talking tens of millions in damages, maybe hundreds. Audrey absorbed that. So Clinton saved $5 million and risked losing everything. Short-term thinking. Classic, Otis said. A commotion at the entrance. Security guards, suits. Clinton and Henry walking in flanked by lawyers. 3 of them. Expensive ones. Clinton's voice carried across the floor. Ms. Sterling, we're here to collect our personal belongings. Per legal advice, we're taking administrative leave pending resolution of these baseless accusations. Audrey walked toward them. Liam followed. So did Otis and Morrison. You're not taking anything, Audrey said. Everything in your offices is company property and potential evidence. Clinton's lead lawyer, a sharp-faced woman in her 50s, spoke up. My clients have rights. You can't prevent them from accessing their personal property. I can when it's part of an active criminal investigation. DA's got warrants being processed right now. Touch anything you're tampering with evidence. The DA has stolen files obtained through illegal search. Nothing about this investigation is legitimate. Then your clients have nothing to worry about. They can wait for the warrants like everyone else. Henry stepped forward, smiled, that oily, dangerous smile. You're enjoying this, aren't you, playing the hero, standing up to the bad guys? Must feel good pretending you're not just daddy's little girl playing dress-up in his chair. Henry, don't, Clinton warned. But Henry was rolling. She's been CEO 6 months, and she thinks she can take down executives who've been running companies since before she was born. It's adorable. Tragic, but adorable. You done? Audrey asked. Not even close. You want to know why the board wanted to remove you? It's not because of Clinton. It's because you're weak, emotional. You make decisions based on feelings instead of data. You protect employees who should be fired. You halt production for Safety Theater. You're everything wrong with modern leadership. Safety Theater, 3 people got hurt yesterday because of your corners. 3 people out of 300. That's a 1% casualty rate. Acceptable losses in any industrial operation. But you don't understand that because you've never had to make hard choices. Never had to sacrifice the few for the many. You just coast on daddy's legacy and hope nobody notices you have no idea what you're doing. Liam saw it. The moment Audrey's composure cracked. Saw her face go white. Saw her start to believe Henry's poison. He stepped forward. You're wrong. Henry laughed. Excuse me. You're wrong about her. About everything. She's been CEO 6 months and she's already better than you'll ever be. You know why? Because she sees people. Not numbers. Not casualty rates. People. Like the 3 guys who got hurt yesterday. Like Marco, who's got a wife and 2 kids and won't walk right for months because you installed a cheap valve. Like the 53 families you were going to throw away to make your quarterly report look prettier. You don't get to speak here, Henry said coldly. You're a mechanic. This is executive business. I'm the mechanic who saved this plant, twice, while you were counting money you stole. Clinton grabbed Henry's arm. Let's go. We've made our point. But Henry shook him off, stepped closer to Liam. You think you're special? Think you're some kind of hero? You're nothing. Bottom-level maintenance guy who got lucky. In 6 months, you'll be gone and nobody will remember your name, but we'll still be here. We always are. Because guys like us run the world, and guys like you just fix the toilets. Liam didn't move, didn't react, just looked at Henry with something like pity. You know what? I think you're scared. I think you built your whole life on being smarter and meaner and more ruthless than everyone else, and now you're looking at a CEO who leads with kindness and a mechanic who leads with conscience, and you're terrified that maybe warm beats storm after all. Henry's face went purple. You self-righteous. Gentlemen. A new voice. D.A. Chen walked in with 2 police officers. Perfect timing. Henry Blake Clinton Morris, you're both under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and reckless endangerment. You have the right to remain silent. The lawyers exploded. On what grounds you can't? I can. Got warrants approved 20 minutes ago. Subpoenaed your bank records, vendor communications, everything. Turns out when you dig into shell companies, they fold pretty quick. Your vendors are already talking, giving up everything in exchange for immunity. Chen looked at Clinton and Henry. You've got good lawyers. You'll need them. Officers? The cops moved forward. Clinton went quietly. Face blank, defeated. Henry fought, shouting about persecution and false charges and corruption. As they were led out, Henry looked back at Audrey. This isn't over. The board will still remove you. You can't win. Already did, Audrey said quietly. The doors closed. Silence. Heavy. Then Otis started clapping. Slow. Others joined. Within seconds, everyone on the floor was applauding. Not for the arrests, for Audrey, for standing up, for fighting back. She stood there looking overwhelmed. Small, human. Then she turned to Liam. Thank you for what you said. Just the truth. Still, thank you. The next 3 weeks were chaos. DA's investigation expanded. More executives implicated. More evidence surfacing. The story hit national news. Sterling Dynamics became the poster child for corporate corruption and whistleblower heroism. Liam hated every second of it. Reporters at his trailer, calls at all hours, people wanting interviews, book deals, movie rights. He said no to everything. Just focused on the work. Rebuilding Section D, training new safety teams, teaching people to see problems before they became disasters. Bridget loved it. Daddy's famous, Daddy's tired. But you saved everyone, that's cool. Saving people shouldn't be famous, baby. It should just be normal. The board met twice. First time they accepted Clinton's and Henry's resignations and voted unanimously to support Audrey. Second time they approved her full safety overhaul budget. $4 million. No questions. Liam's 48-hour suspension ended. He came back to a different plant, new systems, new procedures, new culture. People filed safety reports freely. Management listened, responded, fixed things. And Liam wasn't maintenance anymore. He was head of safety engineering. Office, slurry, benefits. The kind of job that meant Bridget's insulin wasn't a monthly panic. That meant heat in winter. That meant maybe someday college. But the best part wasn't the money. It was the respect. Workers who'd never spoken to him before now stopped him in halls, asked questions, trusted him, saw him as someone who fought for them. 3 months after the arrests, D.A. Chen called. We got guilty pleas, both of them. Clinton and Henry took deals. 36 months federal prison, full restitution. They'll never work in corporate America again. Good, Liam said. You did good work, Mr. Carter. Most people wouldn't have taken the risk, wouldn't have cared enough. Most people aren't raising a kid who believes warm beats storm. Chen laughed. Give that kid my regards. She's going places. Spring came. Montana thawed. The plant ran smooth. Production up. Accidents down. Morale high. Sterling Dynamics went from cautionary tale to success story. How one CEO refused to compromise, how one mechanic refused to stay quiet, how doing right mattered more than doing well. Audrey called him one evening. I need you at the plant tomorrow. 6 p.m. community event, your presence is required. What kind of event? You'll see. He showed up. Bridget with him wearing her best dress, Mrs. Chen too. The parking lot was full, hundreds of people, workers, families, community members, all gathered outside. A stage had been set up. Audrey stood there in slacks and a simple blouse. Behind her, a banner Sterling Dynamics Community Scholarship Fund. She saw Liam and waved him up. He climbed the stairs, Bridget's hand in his. Audrey took the microphone. Most of you know the story by now. How this company almost lost its way. How corruption nearly destroyed us. How good people stood up and fought back. She looked at Liam. This man saved my life, twice. Then he saved this company. Not with violence, not with threats, just with stubborn, inconvenient honesty and a refusal to let wrong things stay wrong. The crowd applauded. Liam felt his face heat. So I'm announcing two things tonight. First, the Sterling Dynamics Community Scholarship Fund. Full ride scholarships for children of our employees, starting with 20 scholarships this year, 50 next year, growing every year after, because investing in our people's families is investing in our future. More applause, louder. Second, I'm announcing our first recipient. She knelt down to Bridget's level. Bridget Carter, you once told me warm beats storm. That fire always wins of its kind. You were right. So when you're ready for college, Sterling Dynamics is paying. Full ride. Engineering degree if you want it. Any school you choose, because you reminded us what matters. Bridget's eyes went huge. Really? Really? Even MIT? Even MIT? Bridget threw her arms around Audrey. The crowd went crazy. Liam felt tears burning his eyes. Couldn't speak. Could barely breathe. Audrey stood, handed Bridget a certificate, then she pulled out something else. The red flannel coat. The one Liam had wrapped around her in the cabin that night. I've been keeping this, she said quietly. Wanted to return it properly. Keep it, Liam said. Looks good on you. You sure? Yeah, Bridget and I'll get another one. He smiled. She's good at picking coats. The event lasted hours. Food, music, community. People from town who'd heard the story came to shake Liam's hand. Thank him. Tell him their own stories about standing up when it was hard. As the sun set, Liam found himself standing with Audrey watching Bridget play with other kids. She's amazing, Audrey said. You raised her right. Her mom started it. I'm just trying not to screw it up. You're doing more than that. Audrey was quiet for a moment. I wanted to tell you something. I'm creating a new position, Chief Ethics Officer. Someone who reports directly to me, someone who can call out problems without fear. I want it to be you. I'm head of safety engineering. And you'd still be that. This would be additional. More pay, more authority, more ability to make sure what happened with Clinton never happens again. Liam looked at her. You really think one person can stop corruption? No, but I think one person can make it harder, make it riskier, make it not worth trying. And I think you're that person. Why me? Because you pulled me from a burning building when you had every reason to let me burn. Because you kept swimming when drowning would have been easier. Because your daughter believes warm beats storm and you're never teaching her she's right. I'll think about it. Take your time. Position's yours when you want it. They stood in comfortable silence, watching the sky turn orange and purple, watching families laugh, watching Bridget build something with sticks and rocks engineering even in play. You ever think about that night? Audrey asked. The cabin. Sometimes. Me too. I was so lost. So convinced I had to be cold to survive. Then you showed up and just didn't let me drown. Didn't give up on me even when I'd given up on myself. You never gave up. You were just waiting for permission to be human again. Maybe. She looked at him. I don't know how to thank you for everything. For saving me in all the ways that mattered. You already did. That scholarship for Bridget, that's everything. That's her future. She earned it, being brave enough to tell the truth. She's 7. So bravery doesn't have an age limit. Liam smiled. No, I guess it doesn't. Bridget ran over. Daddy, Miss Audrey, I made a bridge, come see. They followed her to her creation. Sticks balanced on rocks spanning a puddle. Delicate. Temporary, but holding. It's strong, Bridget announced. I tested it with a rock. See? She placed a stone on the bridge. It held. That's engineering. That's great, baby. Miss Audrey, Are you going to visit us sometimes? Mrs. Chen says you're super busy, but Daddy says busy people still got time for what matters. Audrey looked at Liam. Your dad's right, and yes, I'd love to visit. We're having a cookout next month, Liam said. Community thing. You should come. I will. She meant it. He could tell. The crowd started dispersing. Families heading home. Workers back to their lives. The banner coming down? The stage being dismantled? Returned to normal, except nothing was normal anymore. Everything had changed. Mrs. Chen took Bridget home. Liam helped clean up. Audrey stayed working alongside him. CEO in expensive clothes, picking up trash and folding chairs. You don't have to do this, he said. I know, but I want to. Feels good. Being part of something instead of just managing it. They worked in silence. When everything was packed away, they stood in the empty parking lot. I should go, Audrey said. Early meeting tomorrow. Yeah, me too. Safety review at 7? Neither moved. Liam? Yeah. That night in the cabin. When I asked if you ever felt like drowning, you said every day, but you keep swimming. I didn't understand then. But I do now. Swimming's not about winning. It's about refusing to give up. About believing the shore exists even when you can't see it. And I'm grateful you pulled me from the wreck, not just from the car. From everything. From the life I thought I had to live. The person I thought I had to be. You pulled yourself. I just showed you it was possible. No, you showed me it was worth it. There's a difference. She hugged him, quick, unexpected, then pulled back looking embarrassed. Sorry, that was unprofessional. You're the CEO. You get to decide what's professional. She laughed. Good night, Liam. Good night, Audrey. She drove away. He watched her taillights disappear, then got in his truck. Drove home. The trailer felt different now, warmer, like possibility lived in the walls. Bridget was already asleep. Mrs. Chen had put her to bed. Liam checked on her, kissed her forehead, whispered, You were right, baby girl. Warm beats storm. 2 weeks later, the local news ran a feature. Sterling Dynamics 6 months after the scandal. Production up 40%. Safety incidents down 95%. Employee satisfaction highest in company history. The reporter interviewed workers. They all said the same thing. Company finally cares, finally listens, finally treats us human. They interviewed Audrey. She was poised, professional, but human too. Talking about learning from failure, about listening to the people who actually do the work, about how one mechanic's courage changed everything. They tried to interview Liam. He declined. But Bridget didn't. 7 years old, standing in front of cameras, telling reporters about warm beating storm. About how her daddy was a hero because he helped people even when it was hard. About how Miss Audrey was proof that being kind wasn't weak. The video went viral. Millions of views. Bridget became internet famous for a week. People calling her the wisest 7-year-old in America. She loved it. Liam hated it. But he couldn't deny she was right. Warm did beat storm. Not always easy. Not always fast. But eventually. Inevitably. If you kept swimming, if you refused to let the cold win, if you believed in something bigger than survival. Spring turned to summer. The scholarship fund grew. 20 kids funded, then 30, then 50. Local schools started noticing. Colleges calling. Sterling Dynamics becoming known not for corruption, but for redemption. Liam accepted the chief ethics officer position. More work, more pressure, more responsibility, but also more ability to make sure good people didn't get crushed, to make sure voices got heard, to make sure Warm had a fighting chance against Storm. One evening in July, Audrey showed up at the community cookout, wearing Liam's red flannel coat over a summer dress, looking relaxed, happy. She brought potato salad, helped grill, talked with families, no CEO distance. Just Audrey. Being human. Being part of something. Bridget dragged her to the engineering project table. Kids building bridges from popsicle sticks. Bridget's was elaborate, multi-level. Probably over-engineered. Miss Audrey helped me test it. They loaded weights. The bridge held. Held. Finally gave it 12 pounds. Bridget cheered. That's a new record, Daddy, did you see? I saw, baby. That's amazing. Audrey looked at the collapsed bridge, at Bridget already planning improvements, at Liam standing there proud and tired and content, at the community gathered around fire and food and fellowship. This is good, she said softly. This is what matters. Yeah, Liam agreed. It is. Think it'll last the changes we made? Long as we keep swimming, long as we remember what we learned. And if we forget, then someone else will pull us from the wreck. That's how it works. We save each other. Bridget grabbed by Piggy, grabbed both their hands. Come on, marshmallows are ready. They went, together. CEO and mechanic and 7-year-old engineer. Building bridges, testing strength. Proving again and again that fire doesn't die when the storm comes. Fire gets stronger when people gather close. The Montana sky glowed orange above them. Summer warm, full of promise. And Liam thought about that night in the cabin. The blizzard. The fear. The woman who didn't know his name asking if he ever felt like drowning, every day. But I keep swimming. They'd both kept swimming. Found the shore. Built something better on solid ground. Warm beat storm? Just like Bridget said it would. Just like it always does, if you're brave enough to believe it.